मैं भागा भागा सदियों से ज्यादा मुझे सदियों से ज्यादा Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back, guys. Welcome back to my channel. तू जो नजरों के सामने कल होगा इसको देख जाऊं तुमको भूल जाऊं कैसे मैं Balla para normal, querida, brava, se Dios se llama, no te que Anthem of Morocco.
por Tomasz Klancznik e Andras Kovacic. No gramado também teremos o Sandro Scherrer da Suíça e o Stefan de Almeida. Quarto e quinto árbitros no campo. Na cabine do vídeo, Bastian Danca da Alemanha, Vili Delajo e Ivan Bebek, francês e croata, os assistentes. Com essa trilha também da Copa do Mundo, tá demais, hein? Vamos confirmar as escalações. Assim vem a nossa seleção. Bate no peito. Assim vem o Brasil. Alisson é o goleiro. Douglas Santos, Gabriel Magalhães, Marquinhos e Roger Ibanez na linha de defesa. Douglas Santos e Ibanez ganhando a vaga para essa estreia. Bruno Guimarães e Casimiro, os dois volantes. Vinícius Júnior, Lucas Paquetá, Rafinha e Igor Thiago. O técnico Carlo Ancelotti coloca esse time para começar a Copa, com todas as opções, menos o Neymar disponível para essa estreia da seleção brasileira. Grande goleiro, Yacine Bono é o goleiro da seleção de Marrocos.
Onahi, the only starting player in this lineup that was born in Morocco, and Nawi is a player that I'm looking for in the middle, coming off a very good season in Roma, 24 years old, ball tempo, but Achraf Hakimi, that right fullback, he will be up and down that right hand side. Very fascinated to see the matchup between him and Vinicius Jr.
Let's get it!
This is as high stakes as it can get when you have these two big teams playing against one another first. And we talked last night about the significance and the importance of that first result in a three-game group stage. It's absolutely as well two teams whose fan bases and local media have expectations of being back in this stadium in 5 weeks for the final of this FIFA World Cup. The headliner from day 3 in North America between Brazil and Morocco is underway. It is Brazil in the famous canary yellow. It is the Atlas Lions of Morocco wearing red. Brazil, the most successful team in the history of the World Cup, which is why we say things like they haven't won it since 2002, or they've only been to the quarterfinal in the last 2 editions. But here's what is true. They're coming in off their worst ever qualifying campaign. Last time they were in this country for a tournament 2 years ago, it was an unremarkable, if not ugly, Copa America. And they have pinned so much hopes on a guy that's not even on the field, their head coach, to help turn things around. On the other side, Morocco, they were the darlings of the last World Cup, first African nation to reach a semifinal. They flew the flag for the Arab world at the first Arab World Cup. But it's not been so straightforward since. Whether or not they can claim to be champions of Africa is something to be decided in a courtroom in Switzerland in the months ahead. They recently changed their coach. They lost 2 starters to injury just this week, and a huge flying tackle inside of about 60 seconds. And maybe that's the point. Do the players, do the coaches, do the fans, do the media on either side really know what to expect in this game today from their teams?
Well, I'm even trying to figure out initially what we're going to see from Carlo Ancelotti's Brazil, because he's shown a bunch of different things in the friendlies that he has coached. Says El Anawi with a really early nice nutmeg. That's a key player, as I mentioned, in the game. Looking to get now this right-hand side where they really attack through Hakimi.
Achraf Hakimi now. And couldn't get through Douglas Santos, who's able to get it clear.
But the biggest thing I have noticed, at least when Brazil were in possession, is they've got Vini Jr. way out on that left-hand side. They want him 1v1. They're also interchangeable with Rafinha. But then it's Paquetá who's coming in. Midfield is going to be key today on who wins this match. Different version again of Morocco for a team in their run to 2022, transition type of team that made life difficult. Now they want to play with the ball. They have players playing at top leagues all across the world, and today they want to show that they can hang with Brazil.
Carlo Ancelotti is one of the most successful club managers of his generation. He's won the Champions League multiple times at AC Milan and at Real Madrid, and maybe his superpower more than anything else is calming turbulent storms. And you think about Real Madrid, that's a global brand with a fan base that expects excellence and artistry. Not altogether different from Brazil. That's why they chased him for 3 years before they got him to become head coach. Roger Ibanez, one of the players drafted him because of injury, commits the foul. Here comes a Moroccan set piece.
And set pieces are an area where Morocco looked to get advantages. 5 of their last 10 goals coming off of set piece situations. Good at attacking free kicks. El Khanous just draws that challenge there. And now the first opportunity at what, I was going to say against the Brazilian end, but I would say it's about an 80-20 split with yellow shirts. Right behind that goal that Morocco attacking right now.
You can tell the Moroccans about it if you want. They certainly don't act that way. Bilal El Khanous to take. And it's flicked on by a Brazilian defender. And they're battling the sun, the way the sun is coming over the far side of the field there and is in the eyes of players looking in one direction. That'll be a part of the theme. It's certainly a lot in New York, but nothing that players from Morocco or Brazil haven't played their whole lives in.
Mas deixa de bem handle. Mas tem como dizer mais aí. Discord vai dizer, let me do Discord now.
Good work by Brahim Diaz there to wriggle away from the pressure. Khanous cut out. It's a nice move on the outside. He's getting pulled back there by Mazraoui on the outside. Referee saw nothing wrong with it. Khanous recovers it. Into the middle. Brahim Diaz. Hakimi on the outside. Dos Santos comes to meet him and slips away there for Munahi, but Morocco able to keep it.
Good possession early in this game from Morocco, pinning Brazil back a touch. They're really comfortable in possession and will continue to work down that right side with Diaz and now Hakimi again.
Diaz. Walking it in, shot takes a block, cleared away. Samira was there to deal with it, out for a throw. Mohamed Wabi, who was winning the under-20 FIFA World Cup with Morocco's youth team in the fall, was not expecting to be the coach of this team. But the pressure finally caved in on Walid Regragui, who was the coach of the last World Cup. As he said, this team needs a new face, a new voice, a new energy. Wabi's had really 3 games before this one to try to figure that out. Great move, Mazraoui on the outside. Into the middle, it comes, first chance of the game. Bruno Guimaraes there, got his body in front of it. Brahim Diaz double team loses out. Brazil under some real pressure right now, though, and that's going to be a Morocco throw.
It's El Ainaoui who has that opportunity arriving late at the top of the box. They're really picking on Ibanez down that left-hand side. Good work by El Khanous. Initially cuts the ball back, doesn't catch it cleanly.
El Khanous again. Not that one clean, but Lucas Paquetá had his body in the way. Can Morocco win the ball back high up the field? Nice ball in. Hakimi, tight angle across the face of goal.
Now when he picks this ball up in a nice spot, he gets turned, has a look. There's nobody in the box, no options for him to try to square this one across goal. So then at the last minute decides, I've got to shoot this. Trying to aim for that far post. Just pulled it across the goal. But right now, some of the movement in the attacking phase causing Brazil defensively a lot of problems. Brazil defending out of a 4-4-2, but trying to leave Rafinha and Thiago a little bit higher up, but it's leaving them a man light once Morocco get deeper into their end.
Play on for advantage as Paquetá was fouled. It's miscontrolled in the middle, though. Guadi knocks it away. Diaz of Real Madrid rolls it forward. Ismail Saibari has it now. Brahim Diaz, one of a number of players that have come into this Morocco team since the last World Cup that their fans have very high hopes for. A good step on the outside there. Igor Thiago given a start up front in this game. Really the first chance in almost 8 minutes Brazil have had to pin Morocco back with some attacking possession. Good work by, as you mentioned, the midfield, the importance of the Moroccan midfield collapse there and win the ball away, but they can't keep it. Casemiro into the middle. Rafinha to the block. Falls kindly to Mazraoui. Great first touch by El Khanous to get away from Ibanez on the outside. Wadi now cuts it back inside. Had Saibari, rolls it in the middle instead. El Khanous moves it along. Brahim Diaz, that pinballs around. Hakimi trying to get there. Big collision with Gabriel. And the whistle goes for a foul and a free kick for Brazil.
Well, it's a strong challenge in the box from Gabriel, but the first strong challenge we've really seen from a Brazilian player. Doing too many what I call flybys, where you're just kind of running at an attacking player, but not getting your feet set, not getting low. And the Moroccan players right now just skipping past Brazilian defenders, running at the back line, opening up the defense. And they look very dangerous every time they come forward, especially down this left-hand side. In fact, both flanks, whether it's Brahim Diaz or El Khanous, he looks really lively in possession and not afraid to run at his defender, Ibanez, and they're creating a lot of opportunities right now.
Lucas Paquetá couldn't control that cleanly. El Khanous now quickly in transition. Into the middle. Four Brazilian shirts able to close down on Nahi there, and then a foul committed.
A little bit of a careless turnover. Marquinhos plays it to Paquetá, takes it flat. Doesn't have his body position right now. There's only one way he can go, which is back towards his defender. So if you don't bounce it back, he takes a heavy touch. You see his pocket get picked. El Khanous once again then finds Unahi, who's trying to dance. No foul there. But that's just been the last part missing so far in the early stages of this game, where Morocco have looked good in setting traps, winning the ball back, playing effectively with the ball in possession, just missing that final touch. But a good start for the Moroccans and forcing another turnover.
Saibari was running furthest forward. He'll get it now. Saibari able to turn. Quick shot was blocked. You can tell the confidence that Morocco bring into this game and into this tournament. It's been a remarkable few years. They've, again, won the Under-20 World Cup. They've won competitions in Africa for domestic-based players. They're frustrating the Brazilians. They're frustrating the Brazilian fans. Saibari making the run. It's knocked down off the back there of Marquinhos. Kind of hacked it. Clearance does just enough, and Brazil get a free kick.
But there's a lot of finger pointing going around right now on the Brazilian side defensively. Even Paquetá, when he was played around a couple of times there with a pass, he's turned around pointing, hey, who's supporting me? Who's covering? Who's... I'm surprised that you've got Carlo Ancelotti now coming up off his bench, and he's giving the motion to his team. Hey, come on, let's get going. And we'll see how long he maybe goes before making any little tweaks to his system. And he's certainly not a coach that's going to panic, but he won't like what he's seen from the early stages of this game right now.
And they've dealt with some absences lately. They're starting right back. Wesley was lost to an injury a week ago in their last warm-up game in Cleveland. Eder Militao who was the starter at right back of the last World Cup, he was already out hurt. A couple attacking players as well. So much focus on Neymar, who, as you saw, on the squad, but out for this game with an injury. And yet Morocco in the same boat. Only 4 of these players were starters in the last World Cup. The center backs are brand new. They had to scratch 2 players from their roster for injuries on Wednesday night. Canu's pressure. Paquetá gets it away. Rafinha, it's a great touch in front of Hakimi to control. Vinicius Jr. maybe for the first time all game. Now with the ball, running it out, Achraf Hakimi, getting to the byline, into the middle. He got Thiago, skipped off the front of his forehead.
Well, it felt like that play was going to be broken up, if not for just amazing skill from Rafinha in the middle of the field. They get it out to Vinny Jr. and Thiago just misses this one on the doorstep. That's why he's there. Coming in off a great season with Brentford in the Premier League. There's questions about whether he was going to start or would it be Cunha. They went with a more traditional striker. Finally, you get Vinny 1v1. He beats his man wide. Great ball in the box, 5 yards out. You've got to bury that. Just took his eye off it at the last second.
But does that kickstart things a little bit for Brazil? Alisson going long, Rafinha tracking this in the sun, and he's able to nod it along, but alert to the danger, El Ainaoui, to keep it away from Vinicius.
But I don't mind that idea from a Brazilian perspective there. Sometimes going a little bit more direct and vertical because you have the speed of Vinny Jr. You have Rafinha, who's now coming a little bit more inside. This is the set that they want to have. They just haven't been able to get in it with Morocco's possession of the ball. They want Paquetá floating inside. Now they can overload the middle of the field. They can get Rafinha a little bit more free and stretched and hopefully isolate Vinny Jr. So it's a Brazilian team, as I said at the beginning of the game, they want to control the game with the ball. They just haven't had the ball.
Lucas Paquetá saw Rafinha making that same run, and Yassine Bono, comfortable catch for him. Thiago with the pressure and the foul. As you mentioned, a historic season for him at Brentford and inches away from giving Brazil the early lead.
His positioning was great. Starts a little bit deeper. Sure they wouldn't mind a couple of those guys out on the field. Ronaldo, Kaká, Roberto Carlos.
Multiple World Player of the Year awards, and whatever sweep that was, as that's miscontrolled by Unahi. You see Gabriel getting a bit frustrated for the lack of options he had. He's on a field in a match for the first time since missing that decisive penalty in the Champions League final. Consoled immediately by Marquinhos, despite the fact that Marquinhos had in that moment won the Champions League final with PSG. Marquinhos knows how it feels, though. It was his missed penalty that saw Brazil go out of the last World Cup in the quarterfinal against Croatia. As Hakimi wins that duel with some help against Vinicius Jr. And that's a part of the storyline as well, that the two captains, Marquinhos and Achraf Hakimi, have been teammates for the last 5 years at Paris Saint-Germain. As Rafinha said at one point, we know this Morocco team well. They're maybe the only African team we know well. In no small part because of not just their success in the last World Cup, but how many high-profile players that they have been able to get out of their diaspora. As you mentioned, only one player actually born in Morocco in this Moroccan team, and only 2 raised in Morocco. Bono, the goalkeeper, is actually born in Canada. That stays in play. Vinny Jr. And the fans on the far side of the stadium all stand up when he's on the ball. Lucas Paquetá.
Let's go, go.
Whipped in by Casemiro. Rafinha off the chest. Thiago beaten to it by Bono. And now Bono wants to go quick with the punt the other way. Mishit it, though.
You know, kind of to that point, John, about we both saw it at the same time, the fans coming to their feet. I had to take my headset off just to confirm. It's actually not a super loud atmosphere out there yet. The Moroccans are louder, and I'm wondering if there's just a sense from some of the Brazilian fans right now of entertain us, give us something to get excited about. And Vinny Jr. is certainly a player that can do that, but there's an element in the waiting right now, and the cheering is coming a lot from the Moroccan fans when Brazil is in possession. And another casual turnover there.
And Natalie Gedra, who's here with us, reporting on Brazil, that was a part of our conversation with her before the game, is how many Brazilians are watching this game kind of with their hands in front of their face and just parting their fingers. Not a ton of confidence at home about this Brazil team. Good work by Igor Thiago to win that ball away. Into the middle for Rafinha. Trying to slip it through. Vinny Jr. couldn't turn cleanly. Achraf Hakimi breaking that play up at the last moment, out for a corner.
Well, Rafinha's been a bright spot for them. If he can find these positions where he can just get turned and face the field, then it gets runners off him. Hakimi thought that Vinicius Jr. was offside, but he was actually kept onside by Mazraoui on the near side of the. Couldn't quite get the ball out of the spokes, but it's clear behind. It's going to be the first corner of the game for Brazil.
Bruno Guimaraes in no rush to walk over and gets a drink of water
For
before he sets to take this.
Guessing the radar.
The sun is right in his eyes, but it's not going to affect any of the players waiting for this ball.
Morocco जीतছে কি ভাই?
Swung into a good spot, headed right to the top of the box. Vinicius Jr. closed down, pockets off balance and blocked. Morocco able to scramble it away. We've seen more or less in 20 minutes, two very distinct periods of momentum, one for each team.
You're going to get that a lot through these tournaments, where sometimes a team's ability to ride through the momentum when they don't have the ball and suffer a little bit, or be the teams that can go far in the tournament. Heat, travel, the amount of games, the workload, the intensity of the game these days, that's a very underrated part of the game.
Hakimi was running open on the far side as it comes through Saibiri!
One day. Today, Morocco.
And it just comes right through the spine of this Brazilian team. Direct slip ball. Finds Saibari, who runs in behind and has the composure, but also has the speed to get behind the two center backs, Marquinhos and Gabriel. No pressure on the ball in the midfield, just everybody backing off. There's an opportunity there for Douglas Santos to come and make the challenge. Instead, he backs off and gives the space for that pass. And then Saibari just beats Gabriel for speed. He had the momentum already. Pass was played in front of him. Then he didn't have to slow down, but how about that finish? Just the confidence for a little scoop over Allison. And he already knows it's in the back of the net. Oh, celebrating in the corner. And you have to say, Morocco, the deserved winning team at the moment in this match. They've been excellent through 20 minutes.
Ismail Saibari, a great example of the players Morocco has gone out and found. Born in Spain, raised in Belgium, playing in the Netherlands since he was a teenager. Coming off a career-high season for his club, PSV Eindhoven. It's already his 10th career goal for Morocco. Now it's the Moroccan fans as Carlo Ancelotti looks on and plots a solution. They're up on their feet. They're jumping around. They're dancing. And that is how we're going to go into the hydration break, with the Moroccans making most of the noise here in New York, New Jersey. This hydration break is powered by Powerade. Ismail Saibari, Route 1, straight down the middle. The difference right now, Morocco with a 1-0 lead over Brazil midway through the first half.
और मैंने कुको में दे दी और मैंने एक डिस्कॉर्ड ना गया डिस्कॉर्ड मैं स्ट्रीमिंग कर रहा डिस्कॉर्ड
You know, as we said, it's going to be a part of this. Does the hydration break come at a good time for one team or the other? And maybe it seems like it might have come at a good time for Brazil.
It did, because now they get a little bit of a tactical tweak, and we'll see what they do. Right now, the first thing I see is that Rafinha's come out to this right-hand side. Paquetà's gone into the middle. This looks a little bit more like a 4-2-3-1 from Ancelotti. The other thing was, as soon as Ancelotti was done, Brazil were ready to go. Our referee, Vincic, was saying, look, you guys have more time. They said, no, we're ready. Let's see if we see a change out of the break.
And a more aggressive whistle there from Slavko Vincic, who was more inclined to just let them play, but Vinny Jr. took a bit of a late kick there from Achraf Hakimi off the ball. Vinny overhits the pass for Roger Ibanez. Carlo Ancelotti, again, you take over this mantle of Brazil, this most successful team in the history of the World Cup. The last time Brazil lost their opening game at a World Cup was back in 1934. And that was back when it was a straight knockout tournament. So they lost to Spain, and that was it. They were done. They were sailing back home. Great work there by Mazraoui to come away with the ball. It's open up to the far side. Achraf Hakimi now. Brazil backing off. Hakimi, options. Hakimi pulls it wide.
Lightning quick counterattack, and Hakimi's hard to catch once he gets going. Picks up speed, just driving at the back line. As we get a look at the ref cam here, he has a great look at it. Gabriel just makes himself big enough to force Hakimi into a decision where he tried to take it across the goal. Didn't challenge Alisson.
Already the 8th attempt of the game from Morocco, more than twice as much as Brazil. Casemiro rides the challenge and then just runs flat into Elanawi, or was that Guadi, in fact, and lost out. Again, Mazraoui coming off a bad shoulder injury last week. Driving forward. Brahim Diaz had the assist on the goal. Hakimi. Guadi battling the sun. Couldn't skip through Douglas Santos. Wabi, part of why he is the coach, why they made the coaching change, was the idea that the Moroccan fans and the Moroccan media, yes, we're winning, but we're not winning well. We want to win in a more artistic way. We want to evolve the style of play. That's certainly what they have done. Much more attacking than even Brazil have been, as Brahim Diaz is fouled. Another dangerous free kick coming. You can see the way the sun is setting behind that one corner of the stadium here in East Rutherford. Almost the entire field is in shade now. Achraf Hakimi stands over the free kick. Everyone back to defend it in the box for Brazil.
Wadi's got some space here if they want to roll this one back for direct strike. They've got a couple lining up at the top of the box.
Hakimi drives it to the near post. Instead, it's flicked along. It's going to be sent out by Gabriel. It was a good open look there. Diaz, Saibari, already with one. That one was blocked. One right back. Brahim Diaz caught from behind as he was looking to shoot.
Paquetá been struggling in this game. Some really just easy mistakes, and there's another one. Straight off the bat, he's had so many turnovers. He can't find his rhythm, his feel, his position where he needs to be within the game. He's not going to run back to Bono, but it speaks to the fact that even Carlo Ancelotti's he's at him on the right. He's got him in the middle. He's trying to move him to find him into the game, but he just looks off the pace. The biggest difference and why Morocco are winning right now, the midfield, they just have ability, power, athleticism. They are running all over Brazil.
Brahim Diaz again. Walks it in, couldn't get through all the way clean on Gabriel, but it's one immediately back. The Brazilian fans in this building are completely exasperated right now. You can hear it, you can see it. Anytime they give this ball away, Unahi drives it in, no one in red. But again, they can't clear. Hakimi couldn't figure out the bounce just right.
There's our colleague, Tom Brady, checking out some other football. Oh, they got the handshake. All right. They were ready for that moment, John.
Carlo Ancelotti and one of his assistants getting a lot more animated now on the Brazilian bench, as again they lose the ball. Rafinha's chasing, but he can't get it either. A little more than half an hour gone here in what is officially being called New York, New Jersey Stadium. And as we said, a Moroccan team, they were the hunters at the last World Cup. They were not expected to make that run to the semifinal. Now they're the hunted. Now they're expected to succeed. They're not sneaking up on anybody, but they have talked about embracing and understanding that pressure. Here's Vinicius Jr. trying to counter-punch for Brazil. Guimaraes looking to return. Oh, space that Vinicius finds, he picks it up, and Jr. scores! That's what that man can do! That's what this team can do! And Brazil tie the game!
Nice, let's go. Beautiful angle.
Brazilian teams of the past have always had a player that in the biggest moments can deliver. And even when the team isn't playing well or against the run of play, Morocco domination, individual quality and brilliance. That is Vinny Jr. Two guys on him. When the ball comes back out to him, they find a little bit of space. He looks across, doesn't have options, says, I'm going by myself. cuts onto that right foot, drops a little shoulder, doesn't even look at the goal, he knows where it is. What a strike that is. So much power, and nothing Bono can do to save it. And with Brazil's first real effort in the game, and Vini Jr. has delivered for Carlo Ancelotti and got them back in this game, 1-1.
It is game number 50 for Vinicius Jr. playing for Brazil. It is goal number 10, and if it doesn't sound like a ton for a player of his quality, that's been the story. How do they get the Vini Jr. of Real Madrid to be the Vini Jr. of Brazil? One option is you just hire the coach from Real Madrid. This is the 209th game that Vini Jr. has played with Carlo Ancelotti as his coach in the dugout. And boy, to your point, not only was that ball past Bono's hand before he could reach it out, the net barely held it. How do Morocco respond? Saibari, Brahim Diaz. And then Hakimi is caught by Vinicius. Another free kick from Morocco, and Achraf Hakimi is down in some pain.
Just took a little knock from Vinicius Jr. on his way past. Another set piece for Morocco. And to your point, do Morocco just brush that one off and say, look, we a little bit of an incident where we don't defend the way we want. Vini Jr., tip of the cap to you, well done. We've still been the dominant team in this game. Can we find another goal? Can we go again? This goal now, and look, you got the Brazilian crowd. Vinicius Jr.'s turning to the crowd saying, come on, let's go.
Come on, let's go.
Hakimi to take. Skipped into a great spot. It was Casemiro to head away. Diaz looking to hook that back in. Alisson gets there with a strong punch, and Hakimi in front of Vinicius to nod it backwards for Mazraoui. And a reminder coming up next here on Fox up the road in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Haiti back in the World Cup for the first time in a half century. Scotland back in the World Cup for the first time in a quarter century. It looks to be a terrific atmosphere. We were FaceTiming earlier with some of the Scottish fans. It was Stu's mom.
She's there with about 300 friends. I've heard it's about a 90-10 Scottish fan split. This atmosphere is coming to life now. Just took a goal, I think, for Brazil, for the Brazilian fans to now try to push their team a little further.
And a reminder, the nightcap tonight, midnight Eastern on FS1, Australia, Turkey. The other two teams in the group with the United States. Australia, the opponent, Friday afternoon in Seattle as that one sails out over the head of Roger Ibanez. And some real pressure on both those teams now. The U.S. with the win and the goal differential. So a fascinating one coming late tonight for those of us here on the East Coast. Saibari threw his body in there on Marquinhos, who did well to stay strong and headed away. Rafinha turned right in the traffic. Issa Diop, 29 years old, but just made the switch to play for Morocco, and that's going to be a foul. It's going to be a game's first yellow card. As Morocco were all of a sudden flying forward in transition. It's Casemiro that takes it.
Yeah, you wouldn't have gotten very good odds on Casemiro for the first yellow. He's always involved in the action. It's actually great anticipation from El Ainaoui, who reads that little touch from Brahim Diaz. That would have been a foul on the first one, and it was certainly a foul on the second one because Casemiro was not letting him get past.
There's a remarkable stat of how rarely Casemiro loses competitive games, in large part because he tends to be suspended for the times that Brazil get knocked out. And Morocco going a little bit too quick on that for our referee Slavko Vincic of Slovenia. Hakimi plays it wide for Brahim Diaz, matched up with Vinicius Jr. And that one's going to peter out. Those are Real Madrid teammates. They've had that duel hundreds of times in the practice field.
He's got the look in his eye, though, Vinny Jr. Even that play, and he certainly did on this one. You talked about ball speed there, John. That's... He had a rip right through that net, and almost some pressure coming already from Morocco.
A little over 60 miles per hour for those of you who don't have the metric to standard right at hand. He kicked it hard. And Brazil winning a free kick in transition, and you see the argument Alan Alway is making that it should have gone the other way. Here's Vinny Jr. matched up with Achraf Hakimi, two of the best in the world at their respective positions, and yet Vinny has never won a head-to-head battle and has never scored a goal in a head-to-head battle with Hakimi until today. Rafinha on the outside, couldn't get through clean, cleared back in the middle of the field though. Casemiro knocks it down, great control, Lucas Paquetá. Bruno Guimaraes poked away. It looked like it might have been a foul. It's not called on the field. The Moroccan bench is upset. They end up getting out of the traffic. It's behind Saibari. Vinicius wants the ball again, fell in the pocket of space, but didn't look it all the way in, and Brahim Diaz able to tackle it out. Vini Jr. couldn't get all the way through. Thiago comes to recover it for Brazil, though. And whereas it was Brazil trying to hang on to the hydration break, it might end up being Morocco trying to hang on for halftime. Good strength there by Riyad to push Thiago off the ball, but again, Brazil win it back.
The counter pressure has been better from Brazil the last couple of minutes, being able to step initially once the ball turns over to win it back. And so that's keeping the ball now in the attacking part of the field, which is where they want it. But there's more of a commitment and a togetherness as that ball should run to Bruno.
And it will off a kind spin and a bounce.
But look at that forward line right now. They've got four players stepping a little bit higher to try to get pressure, forcing a long direct ball, and that's what your center backs want. That's an easy one for Gabriel.
5 minutes to go in the half here in New York, New Jersey. Ismail Saibari giving Morocco a lead for about 11 minutes until this man, Vinicius Jr., who then runs right into Achraf Hakimi, was able to tie the game. An 11-minute lead in total for Morocco, as the two big teams in this group square off first, and Rafinha was in space there, but it was overhit by Bruno Guimaraes. Neymar, will he be available? What's his level? For all his history, it's not been a great couple of years for Neymar. It was a surprise to some that he was even named to the squad by Carlo Ancelotti. But coming off a calf injury, not able to play in this opener. And a reminder, coming up the Visa halftime show on Fox. Rebecca, Thierry, Zlatan, and Alexi in our LA studio with their thoughts on what we've seen so far here on the East Coast. Brahim Diaz, Achraf Hakimi. Hakimi clips it into the middle. Target there was El Ainaoui. Thiago helping out to try to get it for Brazil, and then Lucas Paquetá is fouled. Ibanez. Good combination there for Bruno Guimaraes from the byline. Blocked, knocked down. Gets it back. Mazraoui with a tangle, poked away. Still Bruno Guimaraes trying to get back in for Rafinha. Roddy trying to get out. He's under pressure. He gives it away, although it falls kindly to Brahim Diaz. And Roger Ibanez is not going to allow to happen there what happened in the opening goal, which was Diaz running through the center.
This should be a yellow. This should be a yellow.
Will
card.
be.
Yeah. Because it's a tactical foul, because Brahim Diaz was having an opportunity. He had a good run on this near side from Saibari, the goal scorer.
Yeah.
Just no attempt really at getting the ball there. Just smashed right into the side of him. And every player is going to say, no, it's not a foul. No, absolutely was.
Few players ever believe that they committed a foul.
Yeah. How dare you?
Roger Ibanez, he's 27. It's just his 8th appearance for Brazil. He went 2.5 years without a call-up until he was brought in. As a reminder, our Visa halftime show is coming up here on Fox. A look back at some late drama in the opening game today in the Bay Area. 2 more games still to go on our first full day on day 3 of this FIFA World Cup. One back by Brazil. Still getting badly outshot by Morocco overall. Brahim Diaz away from 1, away from 2. That's as far as he'll go. Rafinha under some pressure. That one is going to be a foul. El Khanous there.
I think they've got to find ways to keep Rafinha higher, closer to the goal. He's not been involved enough to where he's dropping back deeper and more in the midfield position to get the ball. They want him high up, playing up against the back line from Morocco, being a threat vertically between him and Vini Jr. That can keep the pressure on. It can also keep the fullbacks from Morocco back and stop them from advancing high up the field, especially on that left side with Hakimi. I expect this one, you've got 2 different options. When you split the field from the center, you want to try to drive it to one side or the other and head it back across goal to look to somebody at the other side.
Goes out to that left. It's immediately headed away, though, by
Just
Boadi.
a poor ball.
Now he carrying forward 4 added minutes, 3 of them for the hydration break here at the end of this first half. Boadi back for Nahi. Boadi for Hakimi now. Brahim Diaz picking it up in the middle of the field. What do you thought overall so far?
It's been a good half. Morocco started the better of the 2 teams. I feel generally Morocco has been the better team in this game, but yet because of that goal with Vini Jr., Brazil are always a threat. They've slowly been working their way back into this game, getting numbers forward, the switch to more of 4-3-3, getting Guimaraes higher, as well as Paquetá, who's there now.
Douglas Santos on the overhead save by Bono. That was Lucas Paquetá, and now he's urging the fans to make noise. Bono, his first save out for a corner.
Yeah, he drifts. Late run, something he does really well. Also, not afraid of the spectacular effort, and that might have been just sneaking in at that far post. Get a better look at this one. Bono had to be aware, gets a good push off, feet were set, comfortable save, but it's led to another corner for Brazil.
It's Rafinha to take. Swinger to the near post, flicked along. Hugo Thiago again might have had a chance at that one there. Marquinhos got the first touch, and the call on the field is goal kick. You can see what Marquinhos thinks about it.
Well, it's a great place to be at that near post, getting across your man. and it did look like it might have come off Hakimi.
Again, we can't give corners with VAR. We can take them away now. And that's one of the conversations we were having with Mark Clattenburg is, do referees start changing sort of their default if they're not 100% sure the other way, because they know they can be changed if they got it wrong. It's, again, part of the calculation here with some of these new rules coming in and the on-field officials learning how to use them and how to manage. Vinicius Jr. with the goal for Brazil. 1 more minute still to go in this half. Hakimi goes to ground, wins the ball, wins the referee's approval, stops the Brazilian attack, and then he's fouled.
It looked like Hakimi. This will be a better look to see how much of the. Yeah, I would say he has a pretty good case for a foul there. Because look at that, a foot right above the ankle, studs exposed. That absolutely should have been a free kick and potentially a yellow card.
You've seen Bono's come all the way upfield to take this ensuing free kick with just seconds left in the half. Rafinha able to deal with it with Alisson, and that is how the half will end. Great atmosphere. Morocco led for a while. Brazil go in with momentum. Our LA studio on the other side of the break. 45 minutes down, 45 to go in New Jersey. Brazil 1, Morocco 1.
Today's match is sponsored by the Active Cash Visa credit card from Wells Fargo.
The minions have become the kings of Hollywood. You wrote a monster movie?
Gee, I know the...
I know that so. It's all games. Uczymy się żeby. Powinien do mojej mamy. Mami, mami, powinien. Sir, पाँच दिन लाइव में अभी क्या हो गया है कॉन्फिडेंस हाय
Idrasa Ganagueve. He said he gonna go in there and do a 7. Commemoration. Point game. I don't want to see one. Mirror Mel. Vinny Jr. That's my brother. Mirror Mel. What you doing? Let's not play me, bro.
तर पनि म तिमीसँग जहिले थिए उले बुझ्न सकेन तोडे मेरो मुटु गुमाए तिमीले पहिलो प्रेम छाती छिरे चाहिँ हुन्छ पेन बिर्सिन खोज्छु म एभ्रिथिङ को चार्जमा सब कुरा बिर्सिन्छु बिहान फ्रेसमा जाँको लगाउँको तुलाई बाडुली कोला तरियाउँलो लगाउँको तुलाई बाडुली कोला तरियाउँलो जो मेरो मुटु तिमी त्यही थियो आँखा रातो सबै ब्लरेका सिके भो मेरो चलिरहेको गाउँमा चर्क्यो पेट्रोल म रोइरहेको मेरो आफ्नै भाइले देख्यो पहिलाको टक्सिक थियो रे बोयफ्रेन्ड तिम्रो लाइफमा थिएन लभ एन्ड केयर सबै एउटै हुन्न नबिर्स्यौ आँखा खोलेर हेर छ नजिकको मैले भन्न खोजेको कुरा किन बुझ्दैनौ तिम्रो पास्ट रिलेसनसिप बिचमा नलेर हो कहिले के तर पनि म तिमीसँग जहिले थिएँ तिमीले बुझ्न सकिन तोडे मेरो मुटु घुमायो तिमीले पहिलो प्रेम साथी छिरे चाहिँ हुन्छ प्रेम बिर्सन खोज्छु म एभ्रिथिङ फोनको चार्जमा सब कुरा बिर्सिन मेरा ट्रेसमा चाहिएको
Hello, 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 hello. Hello. Serious मेरा आवाज? Hello, hello. Hello. Serious.
बल्ल भयो यार
भाई आवाज आयो? के बोल रहा था हाँ भाई
हेलो
मोबाइलबाट हालेको
बल्ल आयो यार
लाइभ हेरेँ
Casemiro.
Isso, os amarelos.
Lados e vamos entender como é que vai funcionar esse lado direito e o lado esquerdo.
लोक आइसकेको मैले तर यहाँबाट हेर्नु चाहिँ कि तर डिस्कर्डमा देख्नु हुन्छ म त्यही देखेँ
उठेको हो कि नसुतिकिन बस्या हो
उठेको हो
From Rafinha, can they get him higher up the field?
हैन उठ्या
And then I think also just the athleticism of Morocco was on display in the first half. They keep that type of dominance, mobility, and how effective they were with the ball. I could see them taking control of this game again.
Rafinha trying to make the move on the outside of Mazraoui as he received the pass. Recover, tackle it out, but Brazil will have a corner. That'll be the
देखियो अगे मैले त टिममा हो
just how many of these fans are somewhat late getting back to their seats, and so trying to get the energy of the building back as well. One save in the first half. Acrobatics.
हाफ टाइम भयो के खुलेको हेर्नु त्यसपछि विज्ञापनको विज्ञापन भयो ओइ यहाँ यस्तो ढिलो गर्दै यार
यहाँ हेर्नु चाहिँ मैले देखाएको स्कोर ल मलाई हेर्नु दे
Rafinha into the near post. That was Marquinhos getting the first touch. Who to come off last? The officials confirmed.
गोल हुँदैसक्यो
Really trying to hit this front post. Rafinha hits the ball with a lot of pace.
तू बक्सोदी भइदिएर यार अर्कै च्यानलमा दबाएर बस्दै थियो कस्तो दामी खेलेको यार यो मोरक्को यार
मोरक्को राम्रो टिम हो भाइ
बलै देखाइन यार
मोरक्कोले हेर्न पहिला पोर्चुगलले कस्तो गरेको थियो सेमिफाइनलमा
दामी हान्छ
अगाडिको 20 मिनेट त बलै बाटेन ब्राजिल
20 मिनट त बलै दिएको थिएन यार
Both of these teams, whether they would say this out loud or not, if
झन्
they
भिडियोको
assume they
आफ्नो
can
ह्यान्ड
somehow
इन्डिभिजुअल
beat Haiti, does that make them perhaps more cautious in the second half?
Perhaps, but I think this is also a game you're looking at saying
नेमार खेल्दैन हैन
the other opponent in this
Huh?
match, we can win
नेमार
the
खेल्दैन
game.
हैन
So I think there's two sides of that, and I always like to think if you have trust and you have confidence in your own team, don't leave it in somebody else's hands. Go and win the game. And that's why when I look down to our left down here, you've got the young 19-year-old Endrick in a pink vest. He's ready to come on. They've got a lot of good options on both sides of guys that can really change the game in this second half as the game goes on.
Second time today, Ashraf Hakimi
is late there. It's actually a similar-ish tackle to the one that Hakimi laid on Vinicius Jr. in the first half. But that's another one that should have been a yellow card.
यो गेम देखाउन न हजुरको थोपडामा त देख्यो यहाँ
ए मेरो थोपडामा देखियो
there is a much bigger difference topping your group or being runner-up in the group, the caliber of opponent you're going to face a lot earlier. So there in some ways is more of a reward, certainly in some ways, it had been in the past, finishing first. And what sort of path that gives you through what again is an excellent 32 now for the first time. Hakimi given time to shake
मेरो 40 45
Bono hooks that ball straight out Brazil throw.
नेमार देखियो हैन
Brazil's all-time leading scorer has an
क्यासिमिरो निकाल्दिएको
make some World Cup history if he can get on the field, if he can score a goal, score multiple goals. Mazraoui, good work there on the outside on Rafinha to come and intercept that ball. Mazraoui. He will roll it
वेबसाइट देखियो हेरेको
get it back.
हो वेबसाइट
Momentum. How do they become dangerous again? Hakimi run his way through. It's a great tackle. And then dove in there, but got it right.
Yeah, got it right is the key. The timing had to be really important. Here comes Vinicius Jr.
Running a decent jump, trying to get some support behind him as well. 3 Moroccan defenders. Now Vinny still gets the cross away. Only man there was Hussein Mazraoui.
That's the recognition, though, of just how dangerous he is. You said 3 defenders around him. It screams danger instantly when he's picking up steam, trying to unbalance his defender. Just couldn't quite pick out another yellow shirt. They had a numbers advantage. Keep feeding him. Like I said, towards the end of the first half.
मेम्बरशिप हाल्यो यत्रो अनि टिभी छोडी छोडी गर्नु ल्याप्टप
He is undoubtedly the catalyst for this team.
अहिले हेर्छौँ हेर्नु लागि
You can scan the QR code. Club Ultra Superior Player of the Match. Still 40 minutes to be decided here. And East Rutherford, New Jersey. 5 weeks from now.
रिपिट आयो के
रिपिट आयो त लाइभ हेरेको छ नि
Men's World Cup was played in the United States in 1994 and when that one's taken quickly. Igor Thiago saved by Bono. Half of the Moroccans were not aware that throw-in had been taken as quick as it was. Bono's second save for the game.
ल्यापटप लिगे आ गया अर्को हजुरले
Santos in for Lucas.
इको त आएन इको अलिअलि आयो
लाइभमा त्यस्तै हो
लाइभ हेरेको छैन मैले
Riyad was there. Danilo held it in, tackled out by El Khanous.
To your point, it was a quick throw.
कुन ल्यापटप किनेको
हजुर यसो के ओमेन हो एसपी ओमेन
मलाई नि एउटा ल्यापटप चाहियो यार सपोर्टै गरे छैन यार
तपाईँले कुन अरे
डेल हो
बिल्कुल
कुनै 11 जेनेरेसनको 8 कति हो कि
बेजन 10 generation i7 10 generation i7 10 generation
हो
Morocco get going the other way. Raheem Diaz.
तेरा i5 वाला
Now he's dumped to the turf off the ball by Fabinho. And it's given away. Hakimi didn't see Vinny Jr. recovering his position in front of Issa Diop. Hakimi got the tackle right, hasn't won the ball cleanly. Igor Thiago lets it run. Hakimi just gets there.
Hakimi Brazil को काम दे
He's trying to run his way out of traffic. Takes the bump. That's going to be a free kick for Morocco. A little bit of a tangle at the end of that one as well. Between Saibari and Gabriel.
Well, it's smart from Fabinho. Getting a warning from the referee right now. That was a tactical foul and maybe just evading the obviousness in front of the referee, but that he just impeded his path and stopped the version of the counterattack there with Hakimi.
But that's a couple in the first 9 minutes of the second half. Couple hard tackles, again a little bit of a tangle off the ball.
I think you felt the tension ramping up a little bit because the first half was more of Morocco. Now the feeling is that okay, we've got a game. The subs have made a difference for Brazil.
Yeah, the Brazil are just like that one again.
Now Morocco really trying to slow the game down, and so now here comes the count for Hakimi to get this in before it would become a throw for Brazil.
किनकि च्यात किसक्यो मम्मीले मेसिनमा हालिदिनु भएको पछाडि पुरै च्यात अलिअलि च्यात
कति पर्यो
1100 पर्यो सेटलाई
El Khanous driving in. El Khanous trying to cut that one through.
Hey, rato निकालो
Break it up.
Nilo.
Lucas Paquetá made that defensive play, then he's dumped off the ball. That's going to be a foul.
And Paquetá having a much better second half. Critical of him in the first half. And it was highlighted by Clarence Seedorf about the amount of turnovers, dangerous opportunities for Morocco. All of a sudden now Brazil taking care of the ball. Then defensively keeps you tuned in on the offensive side, squeezing the game a little bit more. They've got some belief.
And while historically Brazil beating Morocco to World Cup isn't necessarily a big deal when you think about what Morocco actually are now. This is the only matchup in the
कति महिनामा आउँछ र
about two top 10 teams in the group stage.
Oh yeah, when you and I saw the schedule, this is when we this had the potential and still has the potential for some late twists, but it's these are two good teams. Brazil's not playing the best version of themselves, but you see the quality that they have.
Rafinha, he's got Danilo making the run off the ball. He just got caught up in the traffic there and it peters out. We're starting to see Slavko Vincic, the referee, manage things a little bit more right now because he sees really trying to slam on the brakes on any of these balls. A bit late, a hard challenge, just a foul.
And interesting on the build-out from Morocco, El Nairi comes back. And so they kind of lay it to him as he comes across goal. It's a little dangerous. Igor Thiago, he can jump that a little sooner. And you don't fault him for making that challenge there. He gives away a foul, but Brazil are stepping up more aggressively in their pressing structure, which is they're actually releasing from the back line. He steps onto Onawi, the midfielder, gives them an extra presence. So Morocco, even in just this moment, just said, okay, enough. Let's play a little bit more direct. Let's try to push this one up the field.
Fabinho wins the header. Diaz brings it down at the chest, trying to get a foot race on the outside with Douglas Santos. Still Raheem Diaz. Lucas Paquetá cuts him off. And then Diaz is saying he got caught in the face, so he stopped playing behind the play.
No.
Seeing if any of the officials saw it. Morocco pressing high up the field. Danilo for Rafinha. And he goes down with a shout under the pressure from Mazraoui, and it's a Brazil free kick.
I do think that our referee, Vincic, has got to start using his cards a little bit more, because what I'm seeing more of now is on both sides, teams trying to disrupt the rhythm and the flow of the game. So as soon as Brazil gets going a little bit, Morocco fouling. Moroccan counterattack, Brazil fouling. Now that's smart, but you have to start even from a referee perspective. You don't want to that's why you have to use your cards to discourage that.
Rafinha.
मेरे से आगे
Into
हैं
the middle. Lucas Paquetá couldn't take it clean. Vinicius Jr. now, already a goal today.
Allah.
Rafinha moves it along to Danilo. Those are the two halftime subs for Brazil. Rafinha again, nowhere to go. Vinicius plays in the middle, but no one there in a yellow shirt. Saibari making a big run forward, but Riyad elects to go backwards. More movement on Brazil's bench as they prepare another sub. It'll be Luis Enrique. And he might not be alone getting set to come on. Cunha, who some thought might be the starter in this game. He'll be preparing to come on as well in a moment. Wadi into the middle. El-Anaoui. El Canous. An hour played in East Rutherford, New Jersey. One apiece between Brazil and Morocco. Two teams who would certainly love to be here in 5 weeks for the final. That was an underhit pass. It's given away, and then it's overhit when it looked like Brazil were going to be running through. But there's still Morocco a bit casual dealing with it in the end. Wadi being pressured by Vinicius Jr.
The pressure's been excellent. Thiago, now Vinicius, and I think that's why, even just looking at these two subs, these are attacking subs from Carlo Ancelotti. I think he feels that the game is there right now for Brazil to take, and that's why I'm surprised Morocco have yet to make a sub, because what was effective for them in their first half was that they could run over Brazil with their energy. The midfield was humming. Now they've flipped that back the other way, and it just looks like players less willing to come into tight spaces, dangerous spots, less options in possession. Right in the middle of the field right now, you've got three Moroccan players, including Hakimi, their captain, coming together, having a conversation about trying to fix some of these little situations.
So Matheus Cunha and Luis Enrique are both on the field. Thiago and Lucas Paquetá are off. That is Brazil making 4 of their available 5 substitutions before Morocco has made a single one. Now Mohamed Wabi was talking with his assistants, plotting a course here right now. Rafinha now setting it more in the middle, tackle away though. Rafinha pressuring on jump, back to ball. Just play safe and get it away. Activity on Morocco's bench right now. Shamseen Talbi is preparing to enter. Samir El Mourabet as well. They're very young players, 21 and 20 years of age. A lot of young players have been brought into this squad. Remember, Mohamed Wabi is the former coach of Morocco's youth national team that won the U20 World Cup in the fall. It's an awkward collision there. It's going to be a free kick for Brazil. And that foul foul count continues to tick up.
Well, it was Saibari who, early on in the game, was the difference maker for Morocco. And then it was Brazil who punched back. And part of what I was talking about in some of these high-level, high-performance games with these teams is this has been a difficult spell for Morocco, but your ability to suffer while not conceding goals is a very important part of that. They've done that so far. So while Brazil's been on top, they haven't had that clear-cut opportunity. And now you bring a couple of young bucks off the bench. Talbi is lightning quick, coming off a great season at Sunderland. Can create something on the counterattack for them as well.
As you see, Fabinho with a bloodied mouth, so he has to come off to the side and get patched up. And will Morocco make the subs now or not? Looks like they will make the subs. So that'll give Fabinho time to get sorted out. El Canous will come off. Some of the Brazilians will come over and now as well, given the opportunity. Stephen Nahi will come off as well. This is the Moroccan diaspora. They've done a terrific job finding these players, getting them involved. Talbi's born in Belgium. He was a Belgian youth international before making a switch. Morabet, native of France, France youth futsal international at one point before switching over to represent Morocco. And did they in fact change who's coming off? Because in the end they put Brahim Diaz's number.
With all his stoppages, end up serving as a version of a hydration break before a hydration break.
So a little bit of confusion at the fourth official's position and communicating that out of who precisely came off in that substitution. Fabinho is patched up. He's got a new jersey on. He's getting set to be allowed back on the field. So Brazil, for the moment, are playing with 10. That's another tie up there. Brazil want to go quick, and they do. Danilo running forward off the quickly taken free kick. Mateus Cunha. Around the corner there on Riyad. Enrique kept away from it by Mazraoui.
I know. Oh, I know.
Vinicius Jr.
I know.
Rolls that one quickly through for Rafinha. Early cross into the middle. It's sent away by Riyad. As far as Luis Enrique. Spun back around. Has options. Danilo blocked by Mazraoui. Further away by El Anawi. It was El Canous who did in fact stay on the field despite having his number put up at first. We've got setting up on the right where Brahim Diaz was. Luis Enrique once again rolls that one in, cut into the middle, just too far for Rafinha. That was Bruno Guimaraes there with the cross.
Yeah, they've really got the pressure on now because Danilo gets advanced. Luis Enrique's hugging that right side. He comes in on his left. Inverted winger has the ability now to shoot with that left foot. So Morocco honoring that. Guimaraes sensed that space, so now he takes the space that was occupied by the fullback. Great ball across. Can't quite find Rafinha, who made a good run across. The intensity of this game is ramped up, though, now.
Saibari caught an arm to the face. If you remember in the first half, it was Brazil who kind of limped into the hydration break, and that script has been flipped now. And we'll see if Slavkovic is just going to give the hydration break now. It appears that that is what he has done. So really fascinating ending period to this game, setting up this hydration break, powered by Powerade. The game is tied in New Jersey, but Brazil have the momentum here on our headliner on day 3.
Marcelo झाले आहे ना. Marcelo.
We practice this. Stick to the plan. No theatrics. Just head the ball.
These players are doing whatever they want all the time. We need to control this. You're not even listening to me. Don't talk to me. Guys, we're filming you.
I knew you, but I didn't know your name.
What are you doing?
Good. I don't think that's a good idea.
5 minutes. Going down to 4. About 3. We had 1.
Mom, can we leave?
What would you like the power to do?
Ask it. Like you always have.
Like you always have. Even when others counted you out. Ask it.
Keep asking.
And inspire the next generation to ask it too. Bank of America champions everyone who dares to ask. What would you like the power to do?
From the producers of Nutella, new Nutella Peanut, where creamy Nutella meets roasted peanuts to form your partner in snack time. New Nutella Peanut, your partner in snack time.
Football, yeah. Soccer, no. No, I like my Ultra.
Michelob Ultra, official beer sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026.
Ready to go for the final 20 minutes and change here at New York, New Jersey Stadium. Brazil won, Morocco won. And Brazil certainly have had the more attacking chances, the more possession in the second half. They've been the more aggressive using their bench. Same as in the first half, you have the cool, calm Carlo Ancelotti, a much more animated Mohamed Wabi on the other side. That one's played dangerously into the middle of the field. Mourabet, who was one of the subs for Morocco, and then he miscontrols it and gives it away. Vinicius Jr. takes the late bump as he just kind of lifts at it in the middle of the field. And a chaotically bouncing ball that Morocco control. What are you looking for here as we enter this? I mean, again, these games are now four-quarter games. As we enter the fourth quarter, what are you looking for?
Brazil are on the hunt. I've been impressed with the way, even as the game has gone on and players are fatiguing, that they're still chasing, pressing. They've recognized that has given them success. It's put pressure on Morocco, not allowed them to really play with the ball, and then they've been able to force them into long, direct balls, which Marquinhos have dealt well with. For Morocco, this is the challenge. Can they use the ball? Can they have possession? Can they get going forward? Here they come now. First opportunity, some good passing out of that initial pressure is now putting them in the attacking part of the field.
Mazraoui going to roll that one through. Saibari gets there. Saibari tight angle, late recovery blocked by Marquinhos, and the flag does come up for... You saw there Talbi for a moment. Santos, who did really well to recover and knock it away. Good pressure by Issa jump there, just muscling Vinny Jr. off the ball. The spin of the ball is going to lay it up for El Mourabet. Trying to get back to it. Recovery defending by Gabriel. Luis Enrique, Danilo got to it first, but can't keep it. Well, he didn't find any good options, so it goes back to the goalkeeper. Trying to weave his way through. Hakimi Tried to turn and forgot to take the ball with him. Armada coming up next here on Fox, up the road in Foxborough, Massachusetts. Haiti and Scotland. And what a significant game, because that's the difference. The big teams, yes, can feel comfortable. They can get enough to get through. For everyone else,
आयो त यो के हो आइसले स्पिड
that opens the door wide open for them. And so between Haiti and Scotland will feel very confident that they have a wonderful opportunity to advance to the knockout round. That's coming up next. Australia and Turkey late tonight, midnight Eastern on FS1. The other two teams in the USA's group, that'll be in Vancouver.